Hello, in this video we're going to go over this warm-up problem from today's class, and simply we want to take an input that is a string, and we'll call that word, and we want to output the number of e's in the word. We'll start off just by talking about lowercase e's, and then we'll kind of talk about what it looks like when we want to do uppercase e's as well. Now, to do this, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a string input, so I'm going to say word equals input, and we'll say something like input word. And again, this line, there's a lot of stuff here that we want to understand at this early stage of programming. So this is an assignment statement because basically word is being assigned a value when this line is done. We always start off by evaluating the right-hand side of the assignment statement first, and we see that we're running the input function. I know this is a function because there are brackets, and whatever are inside the brackets is what I'm passing to the function. So the string input word is the argument that we're passing. We say this function takes a single parameter. That is, we need to pass it one thing. So once we have the word, now what we need to do is count the number of e's. Now, you could do this with a loop, and I do have some videos that go over that, but actually in this video we're not going to use that. We're going to use the replace function. So it turns out the replace function is a really useful function because it will replace a string and we can with something else. And if we replace the string with an empty string, it will actually collapse the string. So let me show you what I mean. If I say word is equal to word.replace, and I'm going to replace all the e's with an empty string, and then I print word, watch what happens here. So if we run this now, input word, and I'm going to input the word eagle, and see how I get AGL? So what's happened now is it's replaced the e's with an empty string, and I call that string collapsing. And this is a nice way to do this. Now, the problem that's happened, and we should be aware of, is that after line 13 executes, word is gone forever. There's no way to know what the original word was because we have overwritten the original variable word with the new word, in our case eagle with AGL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call that word 2. So what happens then, by the time we get to line 13, we have two variables. We have the variable word, which stores our original word, and then we have the word 2, which is our original word, but we replaced all the e's with an empty string using this replace function. And we see that the replace function takes two parameters. So now what I'm going to do, well, I can do this nice little mathematical operator here. Because if I say the length of word equals, if I take the length of the original word, and I take the length of the new word, what that's going to do is the difference is going to be the number of letters that I've replaced. So therefore, we're going to say the result is equal to length of the word minus length of word 2. And I'm going to then print the result. So now, if I run this program again, I come up here and give this a whirl, and I type in cat, I get 0. Because what will happen is our input is cat. We replace all the e's, we still have cat. And the length of cat is 3. And the length of the new word is 3. And we know that 3 minus 3 equals 0. And that's why I get 0 there. If I run this again, and I put in eagle, I get 2. And the reason this happens is because, again, my input is eagle. When I replace the e's, I get AGL, and the length of the word eagle is 5, and the length of the word AGL is 3, and therefore I get 5 minus 3, which gives me my output of 2. And that's it. Now this is a nice way to do this using this built-in function replace, and it actually comes up all the time on coding contests. It's a very fast way to do this. You could do this as well using a loop. And that's a good thing to do, but I'm not going to go into it for where we're at right now. The one question that I will kind of address is, well, what happens if we want to count both the upper and lowercase letters? Well, what we could do in this case is, I could say word 1 is equal to word dot lower. And what this is going to do is this is going to lowercase the entire word. So let me show you what I mean here. So I'm just going to comment out this first little bit here. Come back up here. And I'm going to print word 1. So if I give this a whirl now, so I'm going to go over here, hit run. Actually, oops. Try this again. Let's clear the screen so we can back up to the top. Let's try this again. If I put in the word cat, I get cat. If I run it again, I put all, oops, CAT, all capitals, see how I get a lowercase cat. So what I can do now with this is, now that I've lowercased the word into word 1, I can now perform the rest of my process. But instead of replacing all of word with lowercase c, I'm going to replace all of word 1 with lowercase c. And instead of taking the length of word, I'm going to take the length of word 1. And then I'm going to take the difference of, and let's call this length of word 1, length of word 1. And so now if I write this, oops, I have a syntax error somewhere. Let's figure out. Line 27. Oh, because I have my close and my braces down there. There we go. Not my braces, my comments. So if I bring this down a little bit and give it a whirl, I put in the word eagle, all lowercase, I get 2. Great. Let's clear that. If I put in capital, so I have 1 capital E and 1 lower e, I still get 2. Now, one of the things with this, and again, it's not really important for this question, but something I should be really aware of, is that a student might say, well, why wouldn't I just do this? And then I don't have to change all of these to word 1. And you could do that. Perfectly fine to do that. The reason why I like to lowercase word and copy it into a new variable is because you always have to acknowledge when you've changed something and lost that forever. So if I lowercase word and store it back in itself, I've lost the original condition of how that word is stored, which for this question doesn't matter. But as you get into more advanced programming situations, you have to really keep in mind when you overwrite something, then lose that information. And with that, I hope this video helped. Have a wonderful day.